Back live. Back on YouTube. Back on YouTube. Back on the tube. So I don't know what Facebook doing right now. I do not know. If y'all got that, please tell me if y'all received that. Them brothers putting in that work. Did y'all receive that? Who all saw that? Can anybody hear me? Who all saw that? You Cherokee, did you see that? I just want to know who all saw that because it's about to go. It's about to get real crazy. Okay? This is not for the faint of heart. And everything that is being done right now is for a pathetic reason. Okay? Everything being done right now. Jeremiah chapter 5. Jeremiah chapter 5. So you know the topic who we on right now, right? And the reason why I'm on this, the reason why I'm on him is because he plays a very, 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 very significant role. Trump says to us, because you got to understand, the wicked knows our history. The wicked knows our history. So he tells us, because we serve the true and living power, the power of Isaiah 45:7. So he tells us, right, the people, the Most High tells him to tell us, hey, go see and find out who Christopher Columbus really is. Go find out who he really is. Find out his true description. Find out who he really is. He told on himself. That's prophetic too. That's prophecy as well. The Most High said, and I will make Esau's tongue fall upon itself. Okay? He will make their tongue fall upon itself. Esau is a spirit. Let's get that out there in the clear. Just like the brother Dan Calloway just said, he did a lesson on how skin color has no, like, how he put that? How did he just put that? The enemy has no skin color. The enemy comes in every form, shape, size, description, attribute. He comes. Remember, Lucifer also came down as an angel of light. Remember that. When you think he would apply that, the same metaphor, we've been duped. We've been had. We've been duped. We've been had. Okay? We've been duped. We've been had, man. This is it, though. You feel me? This is it. This is it. Now I'm gonna read though. Where I want to start. I'm gonna start at 5. I'm gonna just start at 5. We're gonna read. We're gonna read. Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 1. We're gonna read. We're gonna read, Yasharala. And on that note, let me put on my bifocals, man. Let me put on my bifocals, man. Get my nerd on. In one for the evening. Na-da-da. Na-da-da. We in one. All right. There we go. Get a little bit of woo! Let's get it. Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 1. Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 1. Run you to and fro. Salagi. Salagi. Run you to and fro through the streets of Jerusalem, and see now, and know, and seek in the broad places thereof. If you can find a man, if there be any that executed judgment, if there be any that executed judgment, that seeketh truth, I will pardon it. And though they say, the Most High liveth, surely they swear falsely. They swear falsely. O Most High Power, are not thine eyes upon the truth? Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved. Thou hast consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction. They have made their faces harder than a rock. They have refused to return. Sounds like today. Were we the Gentiles before the Gentiles? Were we the Gentiles before the Gentiles? For, therefore I said, surely these are poor, they are foolish, for they know not the way of the Most High Power, nor the judgment of their power. They don't know it. So we've been in this drought before we even got hit with the curse, before we got taken over, right? 5. I will get me unto the great men. I will get me unto the great man, and will speak unto them. Pause. How did Dan Galloway or the other brother I played previously before him, how did they speak about Christopher Columbus? Was he not a well-educated man that stood a great statue, very strong and poised? Let's go again. I will get me unto the great men and will speak unto them, for they have known the way of the Most High and the judgment of their power. But these have altogether broken the yoke and burst in bonds. 6. Wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them. A lion, wherefore a lion out of the forest shall slay them. And a wolf of the evenings shall spoil them. A leopard shall watch over their cities. Every one that goeth out thence shall be torn in pieces, because their transgressions are many, and their backslidings are increased. How shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me, and sworn by them that are no gods. And sworn by them that are no gods. When I have fed them to the full, they have committed adultery and assembled themselves by troops in their harlot houses. Does history not repeat itself? A. They were as fed horses in the morning. Everyone night after his neighbor's wife. Who is these people? Who are these wicked individuals? They were as fed horses in the morning. Everyone night after his neighbor's wife. Don't every rapper and every singer brags about having somebody else's wife, having somebody else's baby mama, having somebody else's girlfriend? Huh? Don't we glorify ourselves in these things? Let's continue. Here we go. 9. Shall I not visit for these things? Said the true and living power. And shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? Go you up upon her walls and destroy, but make not a full end. Take away her battlements, for they are not of the true and living powers. (11) For the house of Yasharallah and the house of Yahudah have dealt very treacherously against me, saith the true and living power. They have belied the Most High power and said, it is not he, neither shall evil come upon us, neither shall we see sword nor famine. Is this not happening right now? Reflection. Some of my brothers need to hear this. We were the Gentiles before the Gentiles. You understand? And the prophets, 13, verse 13, and the prophets shall become wind, and the word is not in them. thus shall it be done unto them. Wherefore, thus saith the true and living power of hosts, because you speak this word, behold, I will make my words in thy mouth fire, and this people wood, and it shall be devoured them, and it shall devour them. And these people wood, and it shall devour them. And these people wood, and it shall devour them. Lo, I will bring a nation upon you from far. Where did he come from? O house of Yasharallah, saith the true and living power. Pause. Pause. Where is the lands? I'm bringing a nation from afar. Unto the house, not just the 10 dog, unto the house of Yasharallah. The house is here. Saith the true and living power. It is a mighty nation. It is an ancient nation. An ancient nation. It is an ancient nation. How old is the white race? The so-called white race. How old are they? They're not ancient. We know that. We know that. You know that. They are not an ancient nation. What did he say? Lo, I will bring a nation upon you from far. O house of Yasharallah, saith the true and living power. It is a mighty nation. It is an ancient nation. A nation whose language thou knowest not, neither understandest what they say. Now, we got to understand how prophecy works. Is he talking about in Jeremiah's time right here? No. No. He already knew that they was going to switch up the language. He already knew the tongue was going to become different. The Spanish language. So prophecy work as such. This is why this is a living book. The living word. Nothing is more truer. Let me get it again. Can't mess with the true and living power. Lo, I will bring a nation upon you from far, O house of Yasharallah, saith the true and living power. It is a mighty nation. It is an ancient nation, a nation whose language thou knowest not, neither understandest what they say. When Yahudah went over there, they stayed over there for quite some time, to the point where they started to conquer all of Rome, all of Asia, all of Africa, all of the Middle East. We are a dominant race. Our history is rich. a Barakathiah nation. How justified is the true and living power? How justified is the Ancient of Days? (16) Their quiver is as an open sepulchre. They are almighty men, and they shall eat up thy harvest and thy bread, which thy sons and daughters should eat. They shall eat up thy flocks and thy herds. They shall eat up thy vines and thy fig trees. They shall impoverish thy fenced cities, wherein thou trusted with the sword. Nevertheless, in those days, saith the Most High Power, I will not make a full end with you. Still being abound by his own mercy. That is the only reason why we are here. By his mercy, we live. (19) And it shall come to pass, when you shall say, wherefore doeth the Most High our power all these things unto us? Then shalt thou answer them, like as you have forsaken me and served strange gods in your land. So shall you serve strangers in a land that is not yours. So shall you serve strangers in a land that is not yours. This can be looked at in a completely different aspect now. Who did Christopher Columbus report back to? Who did he report back to? Serving who? Who was he serving? Something to think about. Something to think about. Something to think about. Declare this in the house of Jacob and publish it in Yehuda, saying, hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. Fear you not me, saith the true and living power. Will you not tremble at my presence, which have placed the sand for the bound of the sea by a perpetual decree, that it cannot pass it? And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail? Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it? But this people have had a revolting and a rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone. Is anything new under the sun? Is anything new under the sun? I'll stop right there. Now we're getting into the nitty gritty. Seal portion, chapter 84. Oh, what does it got? Remember how significant Trump, him saying that, for us to find out who Christopher Columbus really was. After the people tore down the statue, the Most High worked through the proud man known as Trump and had him say, you so-called black people, African Americans, need to do your research on y'all history. Some reason our people think stuff just happened by chance. Y'all don't believe in the true 11 power, man. Y'all pretending. Y'all ain't believing. Y'all ain't trying to see his hands moving. And that's going to be your downfall. Chapter 84, the header. Here we go. Seal portion. Here we go. The discovery and formation of the United States as the seat of Satan. War is further condemned as the wickedness of political leaders. The American Indians are gentle and peaceful at first because of the teachings of the three Nephites who are named. Christopher Columbus was not the man mentioned by Nephi in the Book of Mormon. So what did the Mormon church do? Just like they did in the first stick, they did the same in the second stick. We're gonna put this here. We're gonna really tell what really happened. We're gonna take this out. We're gonna replace it right here. We're gonna never know. They never know. Here we go. Whoever's on here, tune them ears up to the highest you can. Here we go. And now I shall return once again to the beginning of the nation, which shall be known as the United States of America, and show unto those of you who shall receive these things which have been sealed, the easy way that Satan shall have convincing power over the hearts and minds of all the people of the earth, convincing them that his plan is more righteous than the eternal plan of the Father. Get in depth with what Moroni is expounding upon, what he's bringing into the light. How now you got to think, how is Satan able to do this work? How is he able to show the people being in his form, right? He's showing that he's Satan. Being in his form, right? Showing the people that his plan is more righteous. What Jesus Christ did they give us again? The one that done away with the laws of the Most High Power? That done away with the commandments? Right? That was him saying that his plan is more righteous. Do away with the law and the commandments. I got a more righteous plan. I got a more righteous idea. So who is Satan again? Let's go. And now the United States shall not be the only nation upon the earth that shall follow after the plan of Lucifer, for all nations shall be under his power. Huh? How is this done, y'all? Who is this individual now? All nations. Aren't they falling under that one religion? Well, who did they all come to terms with? What is the majority? What is the majority vote? Who is he? Is it not that guy that we was all taught to believe in, like Santa Claus? Is it not that guy? Is it not him? Let's go. Let's go. But this nation shall become the most powerful nation among all the nations of the earth, and its influence shall be felt in all parts of the earth because of the beast and the foundation of the number of its name that shall be set up in the latter days in this great nation. 3. And all the economies that shall be set by all the nations of the world shall be affected by this beast, and nothing that shall be done in the world regarding the monetary affairs among the children of men shall be done without the consideration and control of this beast, who shall be the I don't know how to say that word. Fiduciary. I don't know how to say that word. We're going to skip over. Of the number of the beasts throughout the whole world. And now it is easier for Satan to concentrate, Salakia. Now it's easier for Satan to concentrate upon one nation and bring it under his control than it is for him to control all the nations of the earth in all things. For behold, those in the spirit world who follow Satan in his plan are a finite number of souls whose works, according to the inspiration that they can give unto the children of man in mortality, can be better used on a small nation of people who are desirous to follow Satan than they can be used on a nation of many people. Man, lie. Let me go over that again. And now it is easier for Satan to concentrate upon one nation. Listen to that. One nation under God. One nation under God. Right? And bring it under his control. Then it is for him to control all the nations of the earth and all things. For behold, those in the spirit world who follow Satan in his plan are a finite number. Finite number of souls whose works, according to the inspiration that they can give unto the children of man, immortality, can be better used on a small nation of people who are desirous to follow Satan. Then they can be used on a nation of many people. Nevertheless, it doeth not take a large nation to control the rest of the world, but it taketh a powerful nation, and this power is in the strength of a nation, or in its ability to kill others, or defend itself by force from another. Behold, in all the kingdoms of Satan, the means of force, which is concentrated in its armies, in its navies, and in any organization that created to wage the sin of war, shall always be a measure of its power. But a nation under God attributed its power to the righteousness and the peace and the happiness that is found among its people. Yea, now where in a nation under God can there be found weapons of warfare, for they should not exist. So nowhere in a nation under the true and living power can there be found weapons of warfare, for they shall not exist. And for this reason, it had been written that when the Maker cometh in the glory of the Father to establish his kingdom upon the earth, it is written, saying, and many people shall go and say, come you, and let us go up to the mountain of the Most High, to the house of the Most High of Israel, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Maker from Jerusalem. Out of Zion shall go forth the law. Hamashiach is the Torah. In the word of the Maker from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many, and they shall be their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. And nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. And now this is the plan of the Father. Yea, this is what the Maker shall teach, even to the sharp sword with two edges that proceeded forth out of his mouth, which are his ways and his paths, that he would have the children of men follow according to the eternal plan of the Father, that shall give unto them happiness. And many of the wicked in the latter days shall believe that it is necessary that they build up a great means of force and strength, that they might protect their nation from other nations that might come upon them. Now, this is the thing, is that which Satan would have them believe, so that he might have the means of force to conquer any who come against him, and that he might put down any assertions of his power and authority throughout the earth. And in the latter days, the United States of America shall be the most powerful nation upon the earth. This is facts. And it shall also be the most wicked, because it followed in every way the plan of Lucifer, and preceded those who would follow the plan of the Father, even those who would sue for peace and righteousness throughout the earth. Is this not being shown thoroughly? What did California just pass? What law did they just pass? What did California just pass? No wickedness. Where I'm at. Let's go. 15. For it shall come to pass that all those who rise up against this great nation shall be subdued by its great armies and navies and means of force, even those who are its citizens who sue for peace, even those who are its citizens and sue for peace, and who petition the government against war, shall be overcome by the possessions of the wicked, who think that the killing of their brothers and sisters of other nations is justifiable to save their own lives. Remember, I said this about Judah, but it started at the house of Judah and it trickled on down to the house of Yasharallah. This is why this lesson is called reflection. We gave the enemy the blueprint on how to destroy us. We gave the wicked the blueprint on how to destroy us. They looked, they observed. Dang, they really doing it so like this? Man, they crazy. They had the most high power with them the whole time, man. They knew that the true and living power was with us, that he chose us as a peculiar people unto him. They knew that. But yet and still, they fell under the same curse. They fell under the same trap. Same monkey dope they fell for. Why? Because of Lucifer. He don't care about no damn skin color. He want all of y'all dead. He want everybody dead. He want everybody to suffer the same fate he has to suffer. So skin color do not matter to him at all. And this great patriotism shall blind, 17, continuing, verse 17. And this great patriotism shall blind the minds and harden the hearts of the citizens of this nation. Facts. And it shall come to pass that they shall put their trust in their leaders and cast out from among them all those who speak against its power and its glory. I don't know how accurate you can get. I don't know how accurate you can get on something. And there shall be exceedingly powerful advancements in weaponry of war of this nation, and its power shall be glorified by these great weapons, which have been built to murder through war any that speak against the beast. And the leaders of this nation shall take pride in their weapons of war, and their names shall adorn them, And the people shall worship their leaders, whose names shall adorn these great mercenaries of death, that they shall cause to be built up among them. And woe unto the leaders who have been sanctioned by the beast to stand among the people and gain their trust, and who use this trust to wage war against the children of the true and living power. That's what it is all about. So a dummy come to me talking about some Barack Obama, you better get out of my face with that wicked demon. He was all about the destruction of the children of Yasharallah, the children of the true and living power. He was all for it. Yea, you shall be in a state of exceeding torment and misery as you watch from the spirit world and witness the great destruction of your brothers and sisters, as the weapons which bear your names destroy them and maim them and blind them and cause all manner of destruction to them. And in your names shall these great weapons go forth and cause great turmoil throughout the earth. And they shall be the cause of many widows and orphans, and homelessness and poverty, and all manner of affliction among the children of men throughout the world. For in your ignorance you worship the beast, and you destroy in the name of Satan. And you shall fulfill the prophecy of John, in which he had described you as a great beast who had two horns like a lamb, and speak it as a dragon. For you shall pretend that the wars that you wage are wars for the sake of peace and righteousness, like unto a lamb, who is gentle in nature, but possesses its horns only to dissuade its enemies from harming it, thinking that these horns, which are on the head of the lamb, can inflict pain if it were attacked. The breakdown of what we started, because we couldn't stop killing. What I read to you in Jeremiah, we couldn't stop committing murders upon each other. We couldn't stop glorifying ourselves and taking other men's, our other brethren's wives. We couldn't stop glorifying ourselves in unrighteousness. We glorified wickedness and evilness. So we gave Lucifer the blueprint on how to destroy us. Wickedness is our kryptonite. We do not prevail in wickedness. Therefore, the black man and the black women and the rest of the house of Yasharallah has not been prevailing in this country, because this country holds the kryptonite, which is wickedness. But you are the beast, and speak it by the mouth of Satan, which is the dragon. And all the wars that you shall wage in the latter days shall be wars to protect your riches and those things which you have received from Satan, because you worship and follow his broad way. And all your leaders and your politicians shall be from those who are rich, whose interests are served by the wars that they shall wage to destroy the other nations of the earth. So by what Bill Gates is doing right now is waging war with these vaccine shots, because he know people are going to have an uproar against these vaccine shots because the cat's been let out of the bag about these vaccine shots. So people, even the unrighteous, even the wicked, are going to be like, no, we're about to die over this. And woe unto all those of you who support your leaders and spread of war and misery throughout the earth, because you think in your hearts that you are more righteous than the rest of the world. Behold, the Father loveth all of his children throughout the whole earth. And had he not commanded you to love one another and do unto them what you would have done, what you would have them do unto you? One of the biggest commandments. And what say you if one of your neighbors who is much stronger than you cometh into your house and commanded of you that you worship as he worshipeth, and that you follow in his ways, because he believeth that his ways are more righteous, and that your ways are wicked, and that if you are left to pursue your ways without his intervention, then you will destroy his righteousness and cause his children to suffer. Yea, what say you if he cometh into your house with his great weapons and subdueth you, because you cannot stand against his strength and power? Would you think that his neighbor is righteous? Will you do this to your neighbor? And what of the great commandment of the Father, that you should love your enemies and do good to them that hate you and persecute you and despitefully use you, that you may all be the same children of the one and only true and living power of heaven and earth, who is your eternal Father. Do you not understand this commandment and realize that he hath given this commandment unto you for your happiness? Once again, we were the Gentiles. We created our destruction. You can find in Jeremiah where he pleads to us, the Most High is pleading to us through Jeremiah. Why? Oh, why? Why do y'all choose death? Why do y'all choose the way of the Gentiles? Why do y'all choose death? And when I say we the Gentiles before the Gentiles, I'm saying we the Gentiles of this country, this land, before the heathen came over here. They just learned from us. That's all they did. That's how they fell into the same trap as we did. Because all they did was go by our blueprint. They took on our identity. Therefore, the Father gave them fully into their ways. (31) Behold, it shall come to pass that your pride and your ignorance and your hate for your enemies shall be the means of your own destruction in the latter days. Let me rewind it back, because I just said this. Let me read it again. Behold, it shall come to pass that your pride and your ignorance and your hate for your enemies shall be the means of your own destruction in the latter days. Stay away from the hate of hating Esau, Edom. You know why? Because that was you, fool. The audacity of our people. Look at your damn selves, man. We caused this. We did this. Because we are a rebellious nation, a stiff-necked people. So when it came about again, what did we do? Because history repeats itself and we like to stay true to that, right? So we did it all over again. When Trump brought up Christopher Columbus, what did we do? When Kanye West said what he said, and people made it a meme and thought it was funny when the lady said, oh, we got to hear when he's told about Harriet Tubman. I wonder why they made a movie about her. Why would the wicked glorify Harriet Tubman? What did she do to get that gratification? From the wicked. Let's use our brains, people. What did Harriet Tubman do to get on a big screen and have her movie, have her story talked about? What did she really do? What was the true story? Oh, we won't hear that. That's one thing we hate as a nation. We hate reflection. We hate reflection, dog. We hate looking in the mirror because all you gonna see is an ugly bastard. Who don't deserve the true and living power's love. Far from it. "32. And when you should have been constructing houses and gardens and naming these things after your leaders, which would do good unto the people of the world and would not destroy them, yea, instead of doing these things, you should be destroying the fathers and mothers and sisters and brothers and the uncles and the aunts of your enemies." 33. And when you have destroyed them, then their sons and daughters and their sisters and brothers and their nieces and nephews shall rise up against you and hate you. And because you are more powerful than they shall be, they shall not come up against you in open, but shall come in among you in those parts of your society that are weak and vulnerable to their attacks. And in spite of your technology in your great weapons of destruction. In their vengeance, they shall begin to kill your children, and your brothers and your sisters, and your loved ones. And now, do you not know that I have seen the same thing pass among my own people, the Nephites? Blueprint. It's the blueprint. It's nothing but a blueprint we gave them. He says in 36, verse 36, and now, do you not know that I have seen the same thing pass among my own people, the Nephites? Do you not know that I not only speak these things as a prophecy concerning you, but that I speak these things from my own experience? Behold, the Nephite people were a great nation, and they had pride in their nation and in their leaders who led them into war against the Lamanites, who they looked upon as their enemies. (37) 38, Salakia. And now, if a leader would go to war with another nation, then this leader shall send forth his own children to fight for the peace which he supposed justified this war. For behold, my father has sent me forth to fight the Lamanites, and he had given up his own life fighting, not for the sake of righteousness, but so that he could live another day. For at the present time, the Nephites are not righteous, and we have no hope in the war which we have waged against the Lamanites. And if a leader is not willing to send forth his own sons and daughters and sacrifice them to fight a war that he had decided to pursue, then why should the poor and those who give unto him his power be required to fight in this war for him? And you can now for a surety can know, Salakia, and you can know for a surety the righteous desires of any leader to wage war on another people. If that same leader is willing to sacrifice his own sons and daughters, even his own life, to fight the war that he hath caused. Something that America does not do and do not believe in. Okay? And 43, in your wars shall not be righteous wars, but wars that are set up to protect the blessings that you shall receive from Satan, who is the God in whom you shall trust to fight your wars for. And after my own people, the Nephites, began to set their hearts upon the fine things of the world and the glories and honors of men, they began to follow the plan of Lucifer, which required them that they shall raise up a means of force to protect their riches and their families from their enemies. We even gave the blueprint. See, it started it with Satan. Then Satan gave a blueprint to his people, which is what we would know now, the elites, the international bankers, the celebrities, okay, the politicians, okay. (45) And you have the history of my people in the record that the Maker had already caused to come forth among you. And if you have read the record of my father, then you would know of many wars and the misery that my people have brought upon themselves because of their wickedness that we read in Jeremiah. And now, this is the exact reason why my father was commanded, Salakia, why my father was commanded by the Maker to include so much concerning these wars among the Nephites and the Lamanites, so that you might learn from the mistakes that they have made. Did we learn anything? Don't we still gang bang upon each other, amongst each other, and on each other? Don't we lust after each other's blood like we lust after each other's wives? Don't we do that? Are we guilty of this? I believe so. Reflection. Let's continue. And it shall come to pass that after all the Nephites are destroyed, the Lamanites shall have many wars among them for a time. But after many years, they shall learn peace again and turn to the traditions of their fathers and the things that brought unto their fathers the peace and happiness of the Maker. Who are the Lamanites? In the Bible, the name is already said bywords and proverbs. So when we hear Nephites and Lamanites, you already changed from Yasharallah. 10 tribes. Gad, Reuben, Zebulun, Nephtali. So I already became, at this point, the record of the second stick, the stick of Joseph. The bywords and proverbs have already taken place. So who are the Lamanites? Hey, man. Like my brother Dan Calloway say, I'm just here to make you think. I'm just here to make you think. Unlearn everything that they have presented towards us for us to learn. "48, and they shall not have the Spirit to guide them in these things, but they shall be guided by the light of Hamashiach, which is given to all the children of men throughout the whole earth." What things? "And with the light of Hamashiach, the Lamanites shall become once again a very peaceful and good-natured people, who shall find much joy and harmony in following the light of Hamashiach, which helpeth them to know those things that bring them happiness, and also those things which bring them misery. And it shall come to pass that after many years of wars among them, they shall divide themselves upon the land according to their families and their tribes. And their economy shall not be based upon gold and silver, for these things shall come to mean nothing to them, as they were in the beginning in the time of Adam. And they shall learn to take from the earth only that which they need to sustain their lives, and they shall see that the living in harmony with nature shall eliminate much of the misery that their fathers experienced because they would not live in this way. And they shall come to an understanding that the family unite, that the family unit, Salakia, do it not bring peace and happiness, but that all should love each other and treat all as brothers and sisters. Now I have explained unto you previously that the Father commanded that his spirit be withheld from the earth during the periods in between the times and half a time, that no prophets would be called to go forth among the people at these times. Right? But he did not command that there should not be righteousness among men if there were those among them who understood the plan of the Father and lived by his commandments. And after the Lamanites shall begin to once again live in peace one with another, and when they shall put down their weapons of war and make covenants among themselves that they will not go to war again and take the life of another for any reason. Yea, at this time, Timothy and Mathonia shall go forth upon the land among them and begin to preach the gospel of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach once again unto the people. Now, if they did not preach unto this people, how would you suppose that they should be taught the things of the Most High? Neither did they do anything contrary to the will of the Father during the time and between the times and half a time. Behold, they shall teach the people according to their own languages and the customs that they shall establish among them, which customs are not according to the holy order of the sons of the Most High, of the Son of the Most High. What we all get right there. So I said, think on who the Lamanites are, right? Know them, where the lands are, right? Know them where the lands are. It says, and after the Lamanites shall begin to once again live in peace one with another, and when they shall put down their weapons of war and make covenants among themselves that they will not go to war again and take the life of another for any reason. Yea, at this time, Timothy and Mathonia shall go forth upon the land among them and begin to preach the gospel of Yahweh Shai Hamashiach once again unto the people. Now, if they did not preach unto this people, how would you suppose that they shall be taught the things of the Most High? Neither did they do anything contrary to the will of the Father during the time and between the times and half a time. Behold, they shall teach the people according to their own languages. So where are they coming from? They shall teach the people according to their own languages. What languages was Christopher Columbus speaking? Spanish, the strange tongue. Catch what he say. Behold, they shall teach the people according to their own languages and customs that they shall establish among them, which customs are not according to the holy order of the Son of the true and living power. And it shall be these 3 Nephites apostles that shall be the means whereby the Lamanites shall become once again a peaceful and loving people, who shall live upon the earth according to the commandments of the true and living power. And truly, there shall not be a more righteous and peaceful people among all the nations of the earth. A more righteous and peaceful people. Who are these people? Who are the Lamanites? What are their true names? '59, 84 and 59. And it shall come to pass that Timothy shall leave the land of our fathers and cross the many seas to be among the other nations, so that he might do what he can to inspire others to use the light of Hamashiach, which have been in them since their birth into mortality, to find the truth and follow the plan of the Father. In this he shall not do according to the holy order of the Son of the Most High, which shall be taken from the earth at this time. So he was acting according to his own righteousness. Yet and still, what if 50? What did 56 tell you? Now, if they did not preach unto this people, how should you suppose that they should be taught the things of the Most High? Neither did they do anything contrary to the will of the Father. So they wasn't unrighteous, though. So they acted according to their righteousness. Why? Why is that okay? Because the Most High righteousness, his spirit is not upon the earth. It's been taken away. So all we are left unto is our own righteousness, which is not the correct righteousness. Although the Most High still looks at it as you are trying, you are searching for me. I need to see you put an effort before I even reveal myself to you. You understand? Let me get 59 again. And it shall come to pass that Timothy shall leave the land of our fathers, and cross the many seas to be among the other nations, so that he might do what he can to inspire others to use the light of Hamashiach. This is where it all went wrong. Yet and still, it served a purpose. Yet and still, it served its purpose. Let's continue. So that he might do what he can to inspire others to use the light of Hamashiach, which have been in them since their birth into mortality, to find the truth and follow the plan of the Father. In this he shall not do according to the holy order of the Son of the Most High Power, which shall be taken from the earth at this time. But Mathoni and Mathoniah shall stay for many years among the people of the land of our fathers, which is the same land that you call in the latter days the Americas. And it shall come to pass that as the people begin to prosper in peace and happiness, there shall arise some chief man among them, who shall be influenced once again by the ways of Satan to build up great cities and highways, and these shall establish commerce, why can't I say that word? I know I say that. I know what it is. That they might get gain. Salakia. And these Lamanites, Salakia, and these Lamanites shall stay generally in the land southward. And these Lamanites shall stay generally in the land southward, while the more peaceful of the Lamanites shall live in the land northward. And also upon the isles of the oceans that are near unto the land of the Americas, as you shall call it. And it shall come to pass that the nations of the Gentiles shall not know the Americas until the time just before the Maker allowed Satan to exercise his authority and power, and Satan shall be allowed to cause the nations that belong to the great and abominable church to discover the land that the Maker had hid, that the true and living power had hid from them. And this is one thing that Lucifer complained of the Father, to the Father, even that he did not have the finest parts of the earth in which to bring forth his plan and bring happiness to those who followed him. And for this reason, the Maker, the Most High, shall allow Satan to inspire the explorers of the great nations of the Gentiles to discover the land of the Americas, which is the land of my fathers. And now I have read in the words of the brother of Jared, that which you perceive is the meaning of the words of Nephi, which he wrote concerning the vision that he had of the latter days, in which he wrote, saying, and it came to pass that I looked and beheld many waters, and they divided the Gentiles from the seed of my brother. And it came to pass that the angel said unto me, behold, the wrath of the Most High is upon the seed of thy brethren. And I looked and beheld a man among the Gentiles who was separated from the seed of my brethren by the many waters. And I beheld the Spirit of the Most High, that it came down and wrought upon the man, and he went forth upon the many waters, even unto the seed of my brethren who were in the promised land. And it came to pass that I beheld the Spirit of the true and living power, that it wrought upon other Gentiles, and they went forth out of captivity upon the many waters. And it came to pass that I beheld many multitudes of the Gentiles upon the land of promise. And I beheld the wrath of the true and living power, that it was upon the seed of my brethren. And they were scattered before the Gentiles and were smitten. And I beheld the Spirit of the Maker, that it was upon the Gentiles. And they did prosper and obtain the land for their inheritance. And I beheld that they were white and exceedingly fair and beautiful, like unto my people before they were slain. Now, you got to watch. When they throw that in there, they were white and exceedingly fair. So Satan's still doing his thing up in here. That's why now everything is being exposed on a broad scale. With this whole, how the enemy, like, they was white. They was white, man. They was white and they was very beautiful. If you're black, you're ugly as hell now. If you're black, you're ugly. If you're white, you're beautiful. You're very fair. 70. And it came to pass that I, Nephi, beheld that the Gentiles who had gone forth out of captivity did humble themselves before the Maker, and the power of the Maker was with them. This is talking about our brother. This is talking about Judah. This is Judah. Judah took on, spoken of in the Bible, the customs of the Gentiles. Let me get it. Let me get it, because it's even in the first stick. It's in your first stick, people. It's in your first stick. Let me get it. Most High willing, I'll find it. I think it's in what's it called? Let me find that, man. Let me find that. It's in the first stick. It's in the first stick. We took on the customs of the Gentiles. For Gentiles we were. Gentiles we were. Is this it? Yeah, it is. Uh-oh. Ephesians 2. Ephesians 2. There he is. Thank you, Most High. Ephesians 2, verse 10. I'll start at 8. Ephesians 2, chapter 2, verse 8. For by grace are we saved through faith, and that not of ourselves, and not of yourselves, it is the gift of the Most High, not of works, lest any man should boast. For we are his workmanship, created in Hamashiach Yahushua unto good works, which the Most High had before ordained that we should walk in them. Wherefore, remember that you, being in time past Gentiles, that you, being in time past Gentiles, in the flesh, who are called uncircumcised, who are called uncircumcision by that which is called the uncircumcision in the flesh made by hands, that at the time you were without, Hamashiach, being aliens from the commonwealth of Yasharallah, and strangers from the covenants of promise, having no hope and without the Most High in the world. What does 70 just say? Shalom, mama. Barakatayat Sabbath. I hope that you are having. And it came past that I, Nephi, beheld that the Gentiles who had gone forth out of captivity did humble themselves before the Maker, and the power of the Maker was with them. Never with any other nation have I dealt. We were labeled Gentiles. It tells you in the Bible, in the first stick, Ephesians chapter 2. It tells you. And I beheld that their mother Gentiles were gathered together upon the waters, and upon the land also, to battle against them. And I beheld that the power of the Most High was with them, and also that the wrath of the Most High was upon all those who were gathered together against them to battle. And I, Nephi, beheld that the Gentiles who had gone out of captivity were delivered by the power of the Most High out of the hands of all other nations. And now you would believe that this man of whom Nephi had written is the explorer that shall be known among you as a bearer of Hamashiach, like unto the final prophet of the latter days. But this is not the man of whom the words of Nephi referred. And this Christopher is not like unto the final of the two prophets, who shall bring this record to you in the latter days. For behold, this explorer shall be sent forth to discover the land of my fathers, for the sole purpose to get gain for himself, and those who shall send him, even one of the great nations of the Gentiles that belongeth to the great and abominable church, whose desires are the gold and the silver and the silks and the scarlets and the fine twined linen and the precious clothing and the harlots. Pause. Let's go back to Jeremiah chapter 5. Let's go back to Jeremiah chapter 5. Right? Remember I told you Gentiles, right? 19, it says, Jeremiah chapter 5, verse 19. And it shall come to pass that when you shall say, wherefore doeth the Most High our power all these things unto us? Do all these things unto us. Then shalt thou answer them, like as you have forsaken me and served strange gods in your land, so shall you serve strangers in a land that is not yours. So shall you serve strangers in a land that is not yours. So shall you serve strangers in a land that is not yours. Africa, Europe, Asia, not yours. But what did Christopher Columbus do? He served the strangers. The abominable church had him seek out Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And now, Salaki, and I'm going to read that again because the priest says very well. And now, you would believe that this man of whom Nephi had written is the explorer that shall be known among you as a bearer of Hamashiach, like unto the final prophet of the latter days. But this is not the man of whom the words of Nephi referred. And this Christopher is not like unto the final two prophets who shall bring this record to you in the latter days. For behold, this explorer shall be sent forth to discover the land of my fathers, for the sole purpose to get gain for himself, and those who shall send him, even one of the great nations of the Gentiles that belongeth to the great and abominable church, whose desires are the gold and the silver and the silks and the scarlets and the fine twined linen and the precious clothing and the harlots. And this was the only purpose of this explorer. And this was the only purpose of this explorer, for even that he might get these things for himself and for those who shall send him. And he shall come upon the land of my fathers at the time when the Lamanites shall be at peaceful and good natured people, who shall give freely of all that they possess it. Yea, they shall give of their gold and their silver and all those things which are found upon the land of promise, which shall have no value placed upon them. And this explorer shall kill them in their innocence and take them in captivity back to those who sent him to get gain, and the Lamanites shall suffer exceedingly because of these things. And it shall come to pass that many of the Lamanites shall throw themselves into the depths of the sea. What? Who are the Lamanites? All they did was switch up the names from Judah to Lamanites. Nephites, Israel. Lamanites, Judah. And it shall come to pass that many of the Lamanites shall throw themselves into the depths of the sea. Isn't Judah known on record doing this? So that they might not have to suffer death by the hand of the Gentiles, who shall overcome them. And in a great wickedness shall the nations of the Gentiles overrun the land of the Lamanites and destroy their peace in their homes, in their righteousness. And now I ask of you of the latter days, who think that the man of whom Nephi had written is the explorer Christopher, of whom I have mentioned? Yea, how can this be the man who was inspired by the Spirit of the Most High to come across the waters and destroy the Lamanites for the want of gold and silver and the precious things of the earth, which are the desire of the great and abominable church? And how is it that you can believe this when Nephi had written that these Gentiles who shall be wrought upon by the Holy Spirit shall come forth out of captivity? Behold, this explorer Christopher did not come forth out of captivity, nor did those who followed him. Behold, they crossed the many waters because of greed and want and desire for money and the desires of the great and abominable church. Now, this is not the man of whom Nephi have written. Isaiah 52, verse 3. For thus says the Most High Power, you have sold yourselves for naught, and you shall be redeemed without money. You have sold yourselves for naught, and you should be redeemed. This was Judah selling themselves to the abominable church for gold and silver, which the Most High deems as for naught. What is gold and silver? For the depths and the crimes committed towards your brother. What is gold and silver? What is the devices of Satan? For in return, your own soul and your damnation. What is it worth? you have sold yourself for naught. And now I ask, if you of the latter days who think that the man of whom Nephi have written in is this explorer Christopher, of whom I have mentioned, yea, how can this be the man who was inspired by the Spirit of the Most High to come across the waters and destroy the Lamanites for the want of gold and silver and the precious things of the earth, which are the desires of the great and abominable church? This is what they offered him. And now, is it that you can believe this when Nephi have written that these Gentiles who shall be brought upon the Holy Spirit shall come forth out of captivity? Behold, this explorer Christopher did not come forth out of captivity, nor did those who followed him. Behold, they crossed the many waters because of greed and the want and desire for money and the desires of the great and abominable church. Now, this is not the man of whom Nephi hath written. And the captivity which Nephi hath mentioned is the captivity of the souls of the children of men by the great and abominable church. Which, let me get that again. And the captivity which Nephi have mentioned is the captivity of souls, of the souls of the children of men by the great and abominable church, which shall rise up among the Gentiles. And I have already explained unto you that the Father shall not allow the Spirit to inspire the children of men until the beginning of the half of times, as I have explained it unto you. And the half of times shall not come to pass until a later day during the latter days, than that day that the land of my father shall be discovered by the other nations of the Gentiles. And if you read all the words of Nephi, you shall see that he had written, and it came to pass that I beheld many multitudes of the Gentiles upon the land of promise. Now, in the day that the people of the other nations of the Gentiles shall discover this land, there shall not be many Gentiles upon the land. And when they come upon the land, they shall not be coming forth out of captivity. But the thing which Nephi beheld were an overview of the whole history of the nation of the United States, and that which shall come to pass upon it. But the things which Nephi beheld were an overview of the whole history of the nation of the United States, and that which shall come to pass upon it. And those who shall come forth out of captivity are those who shall come forth after this great nation shall be established as a power among all other nations of the earth. So now the revelations come up out of her, my people, making more sense, right? Giving more clarity. And the United States shall be established as a separate nation from their mother Gentiles, from the Romans, or the other nations, from which shall come forth many people out of the captivity that they felt beholdeth them bound in their freedom to worship the true and living power according to the dictates of their own conscience. For among the nations of the Gentiles, the power shall be held in the hands of their leaders, of their religions established among them, who shall keep the hearts of all their children of men in bondage of their power in their desires. And this is what Nephi meant when he said that they shall come forth out of captivity. Talking spiritual. Everything is spiritual with concerning the Most High. Because Satan used everything, any skin color, does not matter. He uses all skin color. To perform wickedness. That's all we've been performing since the Most High have known us. Wickedness. So the true and living power deals with the spirit. He deals with the Ruach. Okay? 92. Here we go. We get into the hair buster. This is it. We get into the hair buster. And when the United States shall begin to prosper, there shall be many upon the land who are humble and who want no part of the great and abominable church, but only want peace and happiness, which they shall expect that they shall receive under the protection of these United States. And as they come forth upon the land, they shall scatter the Lamanites who remain, and once again turn against the counsel that was given unto them, even that they shall take the up arms against the Gentiles to slay them and drive them out of the land of their fathers. And Nephi saw that the wrath of the Most High was upon them, because they did not do those things which were taught unto them by their fathers, who had received their instruction from the 3 Nephites who dwelled among them for many years. Who was the 3 Nephites? Timothy, Mathonia, and Mathonia. And when they rebelled against the message of peace, which was testified of by the light of Hamashiach within them, they shall be destroyed by the sword, as shall be all nations that live by the sword. And this man whom Nephi made mention was a great reformer of religion who prayed mightily. Great reformer of religion who prayed mightily unto the Most High, that he might leave the nations of the Gentiles and find a land where he could worship the Most High according to the dictates of his own conscience, which was the light of Hamashiach that was within him. And he crossed the many waters and came unto the land of promise and began to preach that which he felt was the gospel of Hamashiach unto the Lamanites. And this man was prepared by the Maker through the ministrations of Timothy, who had left Mathonia and Mathonia and crossed the great oceans until he came to the land from which Lehi came in the beginning. And I was about to write his name in this record. And I was about to write his name in this record. But the spirit, the Ruach of the Maker, had forbidden me in this thing because of the contention that would arise because of his name in the things which he shall accomplish among the Gentiles in the land of promise in the latter days. And it sufficeth me to say that this man shall not be an explorer, as many of you suppose, but shall be a great reformer of religion, that shall do that which shall establish a foundation of much good in the latter days. Why? Because it's going to send us right back. Spoken of in Daniel chapter 4. You know, let's get that. What are you talking about? We're dealing with the four major prophets here, man. We're dealing with the four major prophets here. Gave Jeremiah, gave you Isaiah. Now we're in the book of Daniel. Chapter 4, verse 11. The tree grew and was strong, and the height thereof reached unto heaven, and the sight thereof to the end of all the earth. The leaves thereof were fair, and the fruit thereof much, and it was meat for all, The beasts of the field and had shadowed under it, and the fowls of the heaven dwelt in the boughs thereof, and all flesh was fed up of it. I saw in the visions of my head upon my bed, and behold, a watcher and a holy one came down from heaven. He cried aloud and said thus, hew down the tree, cut off his branches, shake off his leaves, and scatter his fruit, lest the beasts get away from under it, and the fowls from his branches. Nevertheless, leave the stump. Nevertheless, leave the stump. Nevertheless, leave the stump. Leave the stump of his roots in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass, in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion be with the beasts in the grass of the earth. Let his heart be changed from man's, and let a beast's heart be given unto him, and let 7 times pass over him. And it sufficeth me to say that this man shall not be an explorer, as many of you suppose, but shall be a great reformer of religion, that shall do that which shall establish a foundation of much good in the latter days. We are in the much good in the latter days. Why? Because the Most High Power has turned his face. That tree of religion is now being chopped down, and the stump is being left. Now the truth is being spread it out abroad, and there is nothing the wicked can do about it. Nothing at all. We are in the time of real life prophecy. And you shall see that the rest of the words of Nephi shall be fulfilled in that which he prophesied concerning any other nation, that he might rise up against this great nation, that any nation that riseth up against it shall be destroyed. And this shall come to pass according to the power of the Most High, or the knowledge that the Most High had allowed Satan to use Isaiah 45:7, allowed to use to bring forth his plan in its fullness. In its fullness. He suffered it. because he knew religion was going to come about out of it. But now we are living in today. All praises to the true and living power, the Ancient of Days, the great I Am. Now we are reaping the reward of the fullness of his power, of his gospel, of his truth, of his law, statutes, and commandments, of the way of life itself. That was the reason for Christopher Columbus. And that's why they painted Christopher Columbus white. Hope this lesson been edifying. Giving all praises, glory, and honor to the one true living power, the eternal Father. Reverence to the great and mighty King, Yahweh Shai Hamashiach, our Savior. A sincere thank you and honor go to Michael, the great prince of Yasharallah, for administrating the holy order unto us. And, of course, our beautiful eternal mother, wisdom, Ruach HaKodesh. Till next time, family. Barakathai Sabbath. I hope everybody is having. There's more to come. There's more to come. We are in a time. We are in a time. All praises, man. All praises. I love y'all. Once again, like I said, I hope this lesson was edifying. Check out them brothers, man. Check out them brothers that I showed y'all. Dane Calloway. Check that brother out. Seriously. Check that brother out. Until next time, Yasharallah. Shalom. Shalom, children of the true and living power. Love.